Do you continually lose sight of where you're going because you're stuck in the circumstances of what's going on right now? Do you find it difficult to stay inspired to go towards what it is that you said you were going to do this year because things don't go as you thought they were going to go? Well, if that's you, stick with me, because this week I want to show you how you can change the way that you see things. Hi, this is Grant Herbert, leadership and sustainable performance coach, and today I want to continue our conversation around our intention by helping you to move the trees so you can see the forest. Over the last few weeks, we've been talking about this competency of intention. It's about doing things on purpose rather than just the day after day after day, Groundhog Day experience of just turning up. It's about having your values out in front of you and being able to align what it is that you are doing with who it is that you are. And that gives you the ability to stay motivated and excited even when things don't go the way that you want them to go. We all work in a world where it's not a utopia. Things don't go perfectly, and they never will. And we need to be able to adapt and adjust to this fast-paced, ever-changing world that we're working in right now. So let's go back to basics. Let's build a foundation, keeping your eyes on where it is that you're going so that you can stay on top when everybody else is falling back. That's going to allow you to stand up above everybody else. It's going to allow you to advance your career and get the results that you want a lot faster and in a lot more enjoyable way. So how do you move these trees out of the road? You've all heard that. I can't see the forest for the trees, and the trees are what's right in front of you right now. So I can't see where I'm going. I've lost that vision because I'm stuck here. How do we get those trees out of the way? Well, the first thing is we don't. They're still there. The trees are still there, but we just need to look at them in a different way. We need to be able to look at them, but also look beyond them as well. Whenever I work with someone and I'm looking at where they've been and where they're going, I like to do that in a healthy way. I like to do that in a way that makes them feel good about what they've done and where they're going rather than feeling bad, and give them more evidence of why they feel the way they do about themselves anyway. You see, as we've said so many times, that identity of who you believe you are and who you believe you're not is the foundation for everything that you want to do. So what we need to do is we need to reflect on where we've been, however, making sure that we keep our eyes focused on where we're going. It's like when we're driving along in a car. We've got this big windscreen in front of us that gives us a clear view of where we're going. And we've got this little revision mirror that we look in, that we can look behind every now and then to see where we've been and to make sure that there's nothing coming up behind us. However, if we keep our eye fixed on that rear vision mirror, we're going to hit something. We're going to go off the road. We're going to go off track. So we need to make sure that as we're moving forward, that's where we keep most of our focus. I like to call it forward-focused reflection. Have a quick look. See where you've been. Learn from what went well and what didn't. But make sure that you keep your eyes forward. Also, if we keep the metaphor going of driving in the car, if we look down right where we are, looking at the gear lever or keeping our eyes on the dials only and not looking up in the windscreen, we're going to have that same effect. So it's a matter of being able to keep a balance between what it is that you've done, what it is you're doing, and where it is that you're going. It's like a meerkat. A meerkat, you'll see them all working together. They're amazing creatures. And they scurry along, they do whatever they're doing. But they've always got one person on guard But even as individuals, what they'll do is they'll scurry along for a while, then they'll look up and they'll scan and they'll make sure that everything's as they want it to be, and then they'll get back into their work. And I love that metaphor because that's what you and I need to do as well. Because also, if we keep our eyes just focused on where we're going and not looking at what we're doing, we're going to have similar challenges. So make sure that you keep one eye on where you're going. Then we need to keep that windscreen clean. We need to make sure that we've got windscreen wipers that work well. And that's our ability to be able to let stuff happen, but then just move through it. You know, it's about our emotional intelligence. We've talked about that. It's about looking at things differently. We've got to make sure that we keep a clean view on where we're going. And that needs us to be able to keep that internal dialogue, that mini-me in check, and look at things differently. So that's how you do it. But what is it, this thing called your vision? You know, we looked at your values, and that's what is important to you. And we looked at your priorities and looked at aligning those up with your values. But your vision is a predetermined place that you're going. Nowadays, 10-year plans have gone out the door. 3-year plans are even challenging. Things change so quickly. But what I want to encourage you to do is look at the next year and go, where do I see myself being a year from now? And that's the key. Not where do I want to go, where do I see myself? And look at that, and look at that being your vision, so that everything you do in every area of your life is taking you towards that goal. Does it mean that it's a straight line and it's going to happen all the time? No, we're going to look at that next week and how we can plan and put in the right contingencies and resources so that we get there quicker and we get there with a lot more of the results that we want. But today we're talking about having that vision. What's your vision for you? Not anybody else's vision for you. Why is it that you do what you do? And where's it taking you? So keep that vision going. Keep that vision out in front of you. And I find that a lot of times when I'm working with clients, I need to have a conversation with them, facilitating great questions so that they can rebirth that vision, because just like everybody else, they're human and they've lost all that stuff because they've got themselves to a position where they believe they're never going to get there, or they're not worthy of it, or whatever it is that's holding them back, those roadblocks that are being put constantly in front of them in the journey, not by others, but by themselves. So having that conversation is something you might need to do as well, is to find someone, whether it be me or someone else, that can sit down with you and rekindle that vision. A lot of times too, what people do when they're putting out their vision is they only go as far as they feel that they can reach. They only look at what they've done in the past and allow that to determine where it is that they're going to end up. When you're looking at buying financial products, there's a disclaimer that goes something like, past performance does not determine where things go in the future, or something like that. Let's look at that in the context of what we're talking about here. Your past failings don't determine the size of your vision. You do. That inner calling that you've got, that impact that you want to make, the influence that you want to be, the people that you want to serve, that's what your vision is all about. So to create this vision, what you need to do is start off thinking of it as if it's already happened, seeing it, hearing it, touching it, smelling it, whatever it is for you, being able to have a clear picture in your mind's eye of where you're going to end up. When I'm doing this with someone and I'm doing it for their year, I love them to start up, writing this down with "it is," and then putting in the date. So it might be the date that they're actually finishing work for that year. So let's say it's the 22nd of December. So it is the 22nd of December, 2024. And then painting a picture in the narrative of what they see, what they see for themselves and in relation to their goals and what it is that they want to achieve, and saying it as if it's already happened. And then at the end, finishing it off by saying, and it feels, and capturing how they're going to feel when they reach that. Now, for you, where you are right now, you might find that a little bit ethereal, a little bit airy-fairy, and a bit woo-woo, and that's okay. I had to overcome that roadblock as well. You may feel, in the sense of what your circumstances are right now, that you cannot see the forest for the trees, but you can look past them. You can incrementally change the way you think about yourself and about where it is that you want to go and rekindle that vision. Your vision will sustain you when times are tough. So you need to have one strong enough to do that. Well, that's it from me for another week. Join me again next week as we put all these elements together that we've talked about in intention. When we look at what intention is, we looked at your values and your priorities and now your vision. And we put that together for you to be able to put together a plan for your career moving forward. I'll see you then.